on this Charles Freak junk Guardians 2.
It's time to tear this movie a new one. Really big new one. What up, y'all? Insideoutfan2001s here. It's time for me to do a cinematic disaster video on why Guardians Galaxy Volume 2 is indeed a cinematic disaster. So Guardians Galaxy Volume 2 is about the gang who now Gert's a baby and all that, and so they find out that Peter has a father, of course, and so that all the gang just do a bunch of jack trip, multiple subplots and all that, and Peter is discovering his father actually killed his mother. Oh, spoiler! What? Yeah, I don't care, guys.
Shut the fuck up.
And of course, they basically have to do it all and all that. Ugh, I just don't give a shit. I just do not give a shit about this plot. Now, don't get me wrong. The original Guardians movie is a movie that I am very passionate about. And I would have been nuts if I wouldn't call Guardians Volume 2 one of my most anticipated movies back in 2017. I mean, that original Guardians movie, that was just such a freaking masterpiece. That was a freaking masterpiece right there. And I just was so hyped to see Volume 2, of course. And but sadly, this was the movie that we anticipated the first Guardians movie to be, because good God, Volume 2 fucking sucks.
No, it doesn't. Shut up.
On its face. I mean, oh my god.
Probably doesn't.
I mean, I thought it was alright at the time. I liked it fine at the time, but good God, over the past 6 years, my thoughts on Volume 2 have gotten worse and worse over time, guys. Honestly, this is one of the worst movies to come out in the MCU.
No,
I'm not even
come on.
to this movie as canon.
Oh, come on, Love and Thunder is
movies.
worse.
This is
Actually, Iron Man 2 is
shit.
worst.
Even pure dog shit has better effort than this fucking movie.
Oh,
but
no,
I
it
be
doesn't.
kind to this movie and do bring up some positives, because there are some. Like, of course, the acting from everyone still does a stellar job. You know, Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, you know the rest, and of course, and even they gave Yondu some more character in this film. Yeah, at least they developed Yondu a bit better here, and he did get a lot of more cooler scenes than in the first film. And of course, that one scene when Yondu was like, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all." Yeah, that was a funny element. But are they enough to save it? Fuck no. The pot negatives, oh god.
Oh,
They
what
crushed
the
the
fuck?
Positives. The rest of this movie is a fucking worthless experience that I gained nothing from. The
Oh,
story,
no! Oh, shut
I
up,
didn't give
bro.
a
Just
fuck
shut up.
about this story. I mean, oh my gosh. It was too complicated. There's just so many subplots here and there, and just, and it's so fucking boring. This
You're
is
boring.
without a doubt one of the biggest bore fests in the MCU I've ever seen since Thor 2. Yes,
Come
I'm
on,
going that
really?
far. The film just feels too safe and babyish by MCU standards.
Is it
my
really?
goodness,
Oh, shut
it
up.
just feels too safe, guys. It just, oh my goodness. This sequel just doesn't take any risk, and it's so ironic, because some people even claim this movie better than the original Guardians movie. I'm like, are you out of your minds, people? I just don't get
Come
it,
on,
guys.
bro.
I'm sorry. How is this movie
You
better
grow
than the
up.
original? The original that had more of a coherent story, and had stakes. It had tension, and it even had some memorable humor and even a kick-ass soundtrack. But here it just doesn't have any of that. I'm sorry. And the soundtrack here, oh my goodness, it's so forgettable. I mean, the original that had classics, that had like amazing A-list songs, guys, and that had like Hooked on a Feeling, Cherry Bomb, Pina Colada, you know the rest, guys. Those amazing classics. Here, I mean, admittedly, we do have a cool blue sky scene, of course, Mr. Blue Sky, and but that was it, guys. All the other songs, they're just so forgettable. They're freaking forgettable. They're all just B-list songs. I mean, were just so lazy that they just had to put B-list songs instead of A-list songs. Come on. How could you make a follow-up that's so lackluster to the original? I mean, some people do appreciate this movie for having strong character development, and that's fine if you think that, but honestly, that's the biggest problem. This movie just focuses too much on the character development that it forgets to deliver some great action, or even a killer soundtrack earlier, and of course, even a good story. This movie just doesn't have a good story. I'm sorry, guys. It felt like it was written by a baby. Yeah,
what the fuck?
That's what it felt like. It was
Really?
written by. It felt like
Shut
it was
up.
written
You
by
feel
a
like a
freaking
baby. It's so fucking.
Pure fucking infant. It really lacks the epicness. It really lacks the intensity as you would find in other MCU movies. I mean, when I'm watching this film, I'm like, the studio gave us the Avengers. That was a movie that came out 5 years before this. It is fucking embarrassing. Even when the movie does deliver action, it just sucks. It fucking sucks. It's just so boring. I was like,
why the fuck are you yawning? Really?
Also, Ego the Living Planet. I'm shocked that a lot of people rank them as one of the better MCU villains. Well, I'm sorry. I think he sucks. He's a horrible villain. No, don't get wrong. Kurt Russell is a great actor. Don't get wrong. But oh gosh.
Just shut up.
He's just so boring. I just didn't give a shit about him and his relationship with Peter Quill. And honestly, I'm gonna say it. He's worse than Ronan. Yeah, I gotta say that. As awful as Ronan was, you know, at least Ronan was intimidating. At least he was sort of a threat towards the galaxy. Don't get wrong. He was a shitty villain, but at least he was attempting to be intimidating. But Ego, he's not intimidating in the slightest. And good God, that twist when he was the one that actually porked his mom? That pedophile bitch actually porked Star Wars' mom? He was his real father? That fucking sucked. That was a horrible
Oh my
twist
god.
Right there. Hell,
Oh my god.
doesn't tie well into
Yeah,
the
calm down.
this movie. It doesn't even tie in well to the rest of the MCU. Hell, his entire evil plan just doesn't make sense. It doesn't even tie in well to the entire MCU. It's just him preserving planets and all that. It just doesn't tie in well. It doesn't even felt like canon. It all just felt like filler. And the visual effects in this movie, while the original Guardians, that was a movie that came out nearly 10 years ago. Nearly 10 years ago. And to this very day, it really holds up. It still holds up to this day. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. But the visual effects in Volume 2?
What the fuck are you doing? Why are you laughing? What are you doing?
It's a fucking embarrassment.
Oh, shut up. I think the visuals are good.
Horrible. They look so cheap and lazy. It's like
Why the fuck are you...
didn't even give a shit to render this movie well. So many locations just look like a fucking
You know what?
green screen. I was
Oh my god, you know what?
Green screen.
Oh my god, you know what? What the fuck are you doing? Stop saying that.
Big giant CGI fuck fest. Yeah. The
fuck
CGI,
is-
it was just so bad that
What the fuck are you doing? What?
Scene when Yondu, Rocket, and Groot, their face gets all distorted and they go in hyperspeed and like space and all that, and oh my gosh, that scene, that was fucking horrifying.
What?
Fucking horrifying.
Oh, shut up.
God. Yeah, the CGI here is just a colossal embarrassment. They took everything of what made the original Guardians movie so beautiful to look at into a fucking video game, you know.
What? Oh,
Plug the
shut
control
up.
in and you're playing
You know what it looks like?
Galaxy Volume 2, the video game.
Oh, shut up.
I don't give a shit.
Maybe Spider-Man 2 looks like video game.
Holy damn, the goalkeeper, they were cringeworthy as fuck. Every scene with them was absolute garbage.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't try to act like that. Whatever.
Holy damn, the goalkeeper, they were cringeworthy as fuck. Every scene with them was absolute garbage. They served no purpose to the plot at all. Also, one scene I have to bring up, Yondu's death. Now, yes, on paper, it does sound like a good idea to have Yondu die. But honestly, I gotta say this. His death scene just wasn't well justified. I'm sorry, guys. It just wasn't well justified. Because look at the original Guardians. Groot actually did something daring. He managed to save the Guardians from Ronan's ship crashing. And that was really heroic. Yondu just didn't do anything that heroic at all. Now you're gonna say, but he saved Star-Lord, right? Well, yeah. Literally, anybody could have saved Star-Lord. And the humor, the original Guardians, that's one of the greatest comedies of all time. How do you follow up one of the greatest comedies of all time to one of the worst comedies of all time? And I mean, oh my goodness, it is cringeworthy as fuck. It had me beating myself with my purse over and over the head.
Why are you doing that?
There's a scene where Rocket makes a turd joke. That is disgusting. So overall, I didn't want to hate Volume 2. I honestly didn't want to hate Volume 2. I wanted it to be a great sequel and a great follow-up to the original Guardians movie, but instead, it gave me pain. It made me upset and disheartened by how awfully disappointed this film was and how excruciating it was to sit through. I just pray that Volume 3 will be leaps and bounds better than this turd right here. And overall, it gets 2 middle fingers. That's right. Volume 2 gets 2 middle fingers. Thank you all for watching, and go Poppy.
Nobody cares. Awful rant.